So welcome to this video where we're going to talk you through how we go from the original recording of the sound right through to putting that sound onto the sound map. So the first thing that we need to know is that all our recordings were made using one of these handheld recording devices. So once the sound is recorded into the Zoom recorder, that is then connected to a computer. Once it's connected to a computer via USB, you will see that the recorder, the sound card on the recorder, appears on the desktop a bit like a hard disk. And then if we open that, we can see that in the folder stereo and in folder 1, there is the sound that we recorded. So what we do first of all is to drag that onto the desktop, so that's copied to my computer, so I can start doing the first stage of cleaning up the sound prior to it going onto the sound map. So then what I do is to open this sound in a program that I use quite a lot to tidy up sounds, because what we might find is the sound is lacking in a bit of detail. It's perhaps its volume's too low. There'll be some sounds in there that we might want to get rid of. So I put it into this program so I can do the tidying up, and you can see here we've got the left and then down here is the right. And if I just hit play down here, and actually I'm really pleased with that sound. That's a really well recorded sound. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to do. First of all, I'm just going to select this beginning part of the sound, and I'm going to go to my fade window here, select fade in, and then I'm going to select this equal power, and that will now fade in the sound here so it doesn't sound so sudden when it comes in. So if I render that, you'll see that this sound here will change slightly, and there what we've actually got now is the fade in, which is much cleaner, and the same at the end. It kind of stops very suddenly. So what I'll do is take that section here, do a fade out, render that, and then that sounds much better at the end. So play the whole sound again. And that sounds great. So what I need to do is to export that file now with all those changes in it. I'm going to export it as an MP3, and then I'll find a place to put that on the desktop. So I'll just change that to squeaky door changed, so that we know which one we're dealing with. And there we see that it's put that on the desktop down here. And before I upload the sound onto the sound map, I need to store it in a folder so that the sound map knows where to find that particular sound. So I'm going to drop squeaky door sound into this folder Banff here, and you can see that it's uploading that. And if I double click on here, you can see that it's loaded it there. Now I'm just going to get the code for that particular location of that sound, so that we can then find it, so that we can then put it into the HTML box in the map, which I'll show you in a minute. So to do that, I copy this link here, and that's now gone into my clipboard. And then if I just paste it into here, you can see there is the code for the squeaky door change sound. So we need to save that for later on. So here's the Banff sound map, and what we're going to do is to put a place marker on here where the sound was actually recorded. So to do that, first of all, I know that the sound was recorded at Banff Academy. So I go to new feature, add place mark, and then I can just drop that in approximately the place where I think it was recorded. I get a window here, so I put in the title, squeaky door, and then I go to save, and there we have squeaky door, and there is the location. So here is all the code for the place markers in all of the sound maps that we've done in the project. Now I'm just going to use this one here, which is recorded in Banff as well, and it's helicopter number 2. Now, first of all, you'll see that this is entitled B Helicopter 2 HTML. I'm just going to save this as a different HTML file, and I'm going to call it B underscore squeaky door, and I'm going to save it in this particular place. Now, the first change I need to make is the title, so I'm going to change this to squeaky door, and then I'm going to change the title down here as well, because there's 2 different places where the title appears. And then further down here, this is what will link through to the sound. Now you can see it's linking through to helicopter Banff here. Now if we go back to this bit here, here is my code. So I'm going to copy and paste that into here so that this will now pick up the code for the squeaky door sound. Just something I need to change here. Don't worry about it. I need to change that to raw equals 1, otherwise it won't play it. Then we have some blurb underneath here, which is what appears under the player. So I'm just going to take all of this out, and I'm just going to show us this is a squeaky door recorded in Banff Academy. And then we can put that in, and then you can see how that will appear in the box in the sound map. So that's the code done. So now what I need to do is to take all of that and then copy it, and then go over to the sound map again, and I'll just open the screen wide, and I need to go back to squeaky door, and here is the window for squeaky door. I need to make sure that I switch to HTML, and then I paste all of that code in there. And then if we go back to the front page and click on squeaky door, there we go. We've got everything we need, except we've got a helicopter icon there. We've got the title. This is squeaky door recorded in Banff Academy. And click on that. And we can hear that it's a squeaky door. So the last thing that we need to do is we need to change this icon, and we need to upload an icon which represents squeaky door. So I'm going to hand over to Bryan now, who's going to show us the processes he goes through to create this icon, so that we can then upload that into here to complete this particular entry in the sound map.
Okay, so this is the sound I got from Pete. It's a squeaky door in Banff Academy. Now, I don't know exactly which door this was, so I've got to, it doesn't matter actually, it's the idea of a squeaky door. So it doesn't have to be the exact place. So when I made an icon of starlings, it doesn't have to be specific starlings. So what I did was, from memory, my memory of being in the academy, was to create an image in my head that I would draw out on a block. Now, the way I do this is lino, it's artist's lino, it's grey, and I draw on it, and then I cut into it, and then I take a print. So I'll show you the image I've drawn. So this is the image that I've decided on. So it's the shape of the icon, like all the icons I'm making for the project. So this is my idea of what one of the school doors and the classroom inside in Banff Academy looks like. So I'm going to cut this in certain places, and then I roll ink on the top, and then I print from that. So the next bit will be me. I'll finish cutting, and then I'll take a print and show you that. Okay, so I've cut the block, and this is how the picture will look. Of course, it'll be the other way around when I print it, but this is the liner block, and it's black on the surface just now because I've inked it to get a test off of it. But what it does show is the bits I've cut away, and that's the grey bits are the bits I've cut away. So I'm going to make a print of this now. So lay it down there. I've got some ink here. And I'll show you what the print will look like. Okay, a little sheet of paper. Doesn't need to be big. Okay. Bit of padding, a little board, and then put it into the press. Tighten that up. And that should have give us the image that will be used for the icon. There we go. Now, what I'll then do is go to Photoshop and turn that into a circle, and then that little file, that JPEG file, will go to back to Pete, and then he'll put it on the website, and that will be the icon for the squeaking door in Banff Academy.
So Bryan sent me the squeaky door icon that he's just made. There it is. So what we need to do is to upload it to replace the helicopter here, but we're also going to replace the place marker here, the blue place marker, with the same thing as well. So the first thing we need to do is to upload to the Dropbox the squeaky door image. So that's uploading it there now. So this is where I keep all the codes for all of the icons on the sound maps. So there is a squeaky door. So if I click here, create the link, and then I copy that link, then what I need to do is to go back to the code for the squeaky door, and here we change, remember, the title here and the title there, and we put the new sound in here, squeaky door. I just need to change this, because this is the helicopter icon at the top of the container, and I just need to change it to the squeaky door icon, which I've just done, and then I put row equals 1 at the end there. Save that, select all, and then copy it, and then I go to the code box for this particular icon, and now you'll see here that we've got the squeaky door icon at the top of the container box there. And then the final thing to do is to just change this icon so that it looks like the squeaky door, like the helicopter is there. And that's fairly straightforward. We just go to the place mark here, which you can see is currently the place marker in blue. I've hit these 3 dots, upload custom icon, and then I go and find squeaky door, which is on my desktop. Select that. And there you can see it's put it in there instead of the blue place mark. But instead of default size, I'm going to select extra large so that we can see it on the map. And then there we have it. That is how we put the sound of the squeaky door onto the map. Done from recording, initial recording, right through to putting it on the map at the end like that.